Hello everyone, welcome to the first episode of Finding Your Gray. I am Jeanette and I am so grateful that you are here watching this video. This series is going to be all about moving beyond black and white thinking, especially for those of us like myself who live with borderline personality disorder, or just for anyone who feels like they're trapped in extreme thinking sometimes. My hope is that this becomes a safe space where you guys can learn and grow and find comfort in life's gray areas. So before I dive into my story, I kind of just want to talk about what BPD is. So borderline personality disorder is a person. So BPD is characterized by intense emotions and a fear of abandonment, difficulty maintaining relationships, and pretty much just struggling with self-identity. And people with BPD like myself often experience mood swings and impulsivity and mood instability, tendency to see things in black and white or all good or all bad. A situation is either amazing or a total disaster, and it is really misunderstood and highly stigmatized. Most people think it's just being difficult or overly emotional, but that's really not the case. Having BPD can be so debilitating sometimes, but I want to emphasize that it is not a life sentence of chaos. I personally was diagnosed with BPD back in like middle school, and at the time, since it was highly stigmatized, I hated it. I wasn't ready to accept it, and I thought it just made me a bad person, and I wasn't ready to accept that. So I went from psychiatrist to psychiatrist looking for a different diagnosis, or just not like telling people about that because I didn't want to be known as that. And I was on and off of many different medications all throughout the years, which definitely didn't help. And I am currently back at my original psychiatrist, and I am on the proper medication. And I'm not saying you need to be on medication. There are plenty of other ways to treat mental illnesses, but I personally, with BPD, depression, bipolar disorder, I take medication and it helps me a lot. But I am not saying you need to be on medication. But as much as I tried personally running from my condition and my diagnosis, the real turning point was when I sobered up and stopped running and was just able to admit and come to terms with the fact that this is who I am, and it makes me a better person. And I truly view having BPD as my superpower, because it allows me to be able to do whatever I set my mind to, and that's what I want to be able to share with all of you guys in this series, is that you can do that too. You can achieve whatever you set your mind to. And going back to talking about medication before, I used to be super inconsistent with taking my medication, forget for days and weeks at a time, and then go back on it, and it totally took a toll on my body that I wasn't able to really see until I was consistent with the medication. And it's amazing what it actually does for you when you actually decide to take it. So at first it did seem like a chore and like such a struggle to have to do. But now that I am on it so consistently, it is hardwired into my brain to be a habit. And when I do forget for a day or two, which happens, we're all human, I feel the difference in my body and my mental health that I want to be taking my medication. Because I also felt like when I'm off my medication, I'm not only hurting myself, but I'm hurting other people too, because of the way I act and react to things when I'm not properly medicated. So that also helps me stay accountable. But alongside medication, I discovered the power of self-love, which this channel is entirely about, so please check out my other videos if you haven't already. I used to be impulsive and lash out all the time and not think clearly, but over time I've learned to stay calm, cool, and collected. Journaling became one of my greatest tools. I write down my thoughts, to-do lists, write about my day, or just random journaling prompts that I'll see. And I also started surrounding myself with the right people and becoming interested in hobbies again and taking care of all my animals. And my space used to look like a bomb exploded in a pigsty, but now I take pride in the fact that I've been keeping my space very clean. And I have an apartment tour that I recently uploaded, which I'll link up above for you guys. And overall, I've just been working on building a routine that helps me feel centered and grounded. So for me, finding your gray is about moving past that black and white thinking and finding comfort in all the mundane gray areas of life, because that's mostly what life is. And at times I still struggle with seeing everything in extremes. But with everything I've shared already, I've been able to hone back in and realize how I'm thinking about things, and then how to logically think about what I'm feeling, if that makes sense. And also learning to find beauty in not having all of the answers. I find my gray in the little routines that I have built for myself, such as every morning I wake up and I check my health stats, my daily health stats with my Samsung Ring. I put on music and I get out of bed and I make my coffee and I feed my guinea pigs first thing in the morning because they freak out if I don't. I love singing, I love dancing, I play Just Dance all the time and it's my favorite workout. Throughout this series, I plan to share stories about my own life and how I broke free from addiction and learning to handle anxiety without substances. I shifted through self-sabotage mode to self-love mode, which has been such a huge breakthrough. I will share tools and practices that help me, like the 10-minute rule when it comes to my binge eating problem, and how I learned to set boundaries and maintain healthy relationships with friends and family. I also plan to bring on guests who inspire me to become a better version of myself, and I want this to feel like a conversation between one another, not just me talking. And I'd love for you to ask questions and share your own story and experiences, and ask questions about what you want to know about me and my life and what you need help on. It's not just about my story, it's about creating a safe space for everyone here. My hope is that when you listen to Finding Your Gray, you feel less alone in yourself, and that healing is not linear. It is okay to not be perfect and to take things one day at a time, because I want you to know that you are not broken. You are human and you are capable of doing whatever you set your mind to, and of finding balance and building a life of success and prosperity. I am here to share my struggles, not because I have figured it all out, because I haven't, but because I believe that sharing our stories, we can help each other grow. I want this series to be a place where you can come as you are, with all your complexities and contradictions, where you can learn to love yourself even on the days that self-love feels really hard. If this resonated with you in any way, shape, or form, please subscribe, like, and comment, and share this video with anyone who you think needs to hear it. You can find me also on Instagram and Snapchat, which will be linked down below in the description. And I'd love to hear your stories, your questions, and your insights. So let me know what you need to hear and what topics you would like me to speak about and explore together. So thank you so much for tuning into the... Oh my god. So thank you so much for... Oh, no, not again. Can we not? Tripod, thanks. Anyways, thank you so much for tuning into the first episode of Finding Your Gray. I am so excited to see where this journey takes us. And if you guys were looking at the pillows I was playing with during filming this video, the link to my mom's website will be linked down below, and you can use code Jeanette for 15% off your order. And I hope to see you guys in the next episode of Finding Your Gray. And until then, take care of yourself and remember that healing happens in the in-between.